Good morning to you all. Welcome. It's an honor and a privilege to have had this wonderful opportunity of addressing a distinguished gathering of marketeers throughout the world. And right at the outset, let me thank all of the organizers, special committees that were instrumental in formulating this program, and it is my sincere hope that this will be a resounding success. A success that will ensure Sri Lanka's and Asia's link to the global community would be vast, fast, energetic, productive, and also it ensures value addition. Right now, I would like to speak a few words about my motherland, Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is an island with everlasting wonder, where nature, heritage, hospitality, and opportunity converge in a single, truly unique destination. And today more than ever, Sri Lanka stands ready to be known to the world. Imagine a place where emerald hills rise above misty tea plantations, golden beaches meet crystal waves, ancient civilization meets modern innovation, and where welcoming people make you feel at home from the moment you arrive. This is Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, the island of unceasing, incredible wonders. Our brand primarily rests on four major pillars: nature, tropical rainforests, highland tree country, pristine coastline, rich in scarce wildlife resources, a mystique that spreads across fauna, flora, wild and all living beings. Over 2,500 years of recorded history, our cultural heritage, UNESCO sites, vibrant living conditions and traditions, warm, friendly, English speaking, and globally connected. We have advanced in tourism, trade, investment, and innovation. in the 21st century. Tourism is one of the fastest growing phases of Sri Lanka. In 2024, we welcomed over 2 million international visitors, a remarkable 38% year-on-year growth over 2023. In December alone, we recorded 240,000 arrivals, an 18.18% increase compared to December 2023, and a daily arrival rate which averaged to over 8,000. Our tourism revenue in 2024 reached US dollars 3.1 billion, a 53.2% surge compared with 2023. What does this tell us? It tells us that Sri Lanka is increasingly a global choice for holidaymakers, wellness travelers, adventure seekers, and cultural tourists. The world is noticing our beaches, our tea hills, our wildlife, festivals, and our spirit of welcome. We must seize this moment, invest in seamless visitor experiences, strengthen infrastructure, protect our natural heritage, and ensure that every visitor who visits Sri Lanka becomes Sri Lanka's brand ambassador. It's not just about tourism. Sri Lanka is stepping up as a serious player in global trade and services. In 2024, Sri Lanka recorded its highest ever exports revenue, 16.7 billion, breaking the previous record of 2018. Of that, merchandise exports were about 12.7 billion, and services exports around 3.46 billion. In December 2024 alone, merchandise exports were US dollars over 1,000 million, up 4%. And services exports were 322 million, up 29%. These numbers show that Sri Lanka is ready not just to host visitors, but to export capacities, apparel and textiles, tea, coconut-based products, spices and concentrates, rubber-based products, and increasingly services. Made in Sri Lanka brand combined with sustainability could be and should be a very powerful export narrative. Once again, Sri Lanka offers many advantages and attributes. We can provide nearshore production and service capacity for India, the Middle East and Africa, global operating standards, responsible business practices, compliant manufacturing in electronics, medical services, specialty rubber, green textiles, provide digital and financial services, and the talented human resource personnel aligning with international time zones, maritime logistics excellence through the Colombo, Trincomalee and Hambantota harbors and corridors, creative education and clinical trial ecosystems, at lower costs than our regional competitors. So friends, Sri Lanka provides all of you with a unique opportunity, a very rare opportunity, to become partners of development, growth, entrepreneurship, an opportunity for new businesses to flourish. For investors and global partners, Sri Lanka offers opportunity, especially when you refer to the Board of Investment figures. Foreign direct investment is on a high, although we cannot be satisfied with the rates at which the country is receiving foreign direct investment. But these figures illustrate the dynamism, the capacity, and the capability of our people. It reflects the investor confidence, the policy reform processes, and also Sri Lanka's positioning as a gateway in the Indian Ocean region. The message to the business community, both here and abroad, is very clear. Sri Lanka is open, we are enabling, and we are primed for growth. We ought to focus more on enabling policy. There is a great necessity to initiate programs that formulates one-stop investor authority with 10-day incorporation and 30-day construction clearance. We have to be more efficient in the arena of e-customs, e-visas, work permits. 10-year tax stability pacts, its transparency, accountability, published rulings, commercial court and arbitration mechanisms that match Singapore's and United Kingdom's standards, digital public finance platforms, as in India, and also provide opportunities for upper middle class global citizens to have their residence based on investments and founder visas. Encourage and promote strategic investors and their entry into electronics, pharmaceuticals, logistics, green energy, and other modern sectors. We need to establish corporate anchors, tax holidays tied to export ratios, and technology transfers. We need to induce and attract the diaspora, encourage them to invest in Sri Lanka, which would have a beneficial impact on Sri Lanka's economy. So the world should be aware that Sri Lanka is special. Why is it special? It's in the heart of the Indian Ocean. We are endowed with an advantageous strategic location. Easy reach of South Asia and Middle East and East Asia, making it a hub for trade, logistics, and tourism. We're endowed with natural beauty, cultural depth. Few destinations in the world combine the tropical coastline, mountain, highlands, rainforests, historic temples, wildlife, lively cultural festivals in one compact island. It is cost effective and high value. Visitors can enjoy a world-class experiences at competitive cost. Investors can tap talented, capable, hardworking workforce and set up shop in preferential industrial zones. We have a strong momentum and credibility. In recent times, we have commenced growth in tourism, exports, investment, and as a country, we are proving to the whole world that we can rebound. We possess sustainability and authenticity. The island is embracing ecotourism, responsible trade, cultural preservation and sustainable development, values that matter increasingly to global travelers and buyers. So to our international friends, partners, travelers, investors, I invite you to visit Sri Lanka. Discover surf in the south, tree country in the highlands, wildlife in the national parks spread throughout the country, ancient cities in the cultural triangle. Invest in Sri Lanka. Consider opportunities in wellness tourism, information technology, business process outsourcing, renewable energy, logistics, manufacturing, exports, electronics, microchips. Enable those activities in the value chains, the supply chains, and demand chains to be established in our motherland. Trade with Sri Lanka. Seek out our tea, garments, spices, rubber, coconut products, digital services, and promote Made in Sri Lanka story. Share our story. After your wonderful experience of Sri Lanka, tell your networks, this is an island of wonder, authenticity, and value. Of course, in our journey, we face multifarious challenges. We have increasing poverty as a country. Approximately 40 to 50% are suffering from a variety of forms of poverty. It could be income poverty, consumption poverty, savings poverty, production poverty, poverty in all its facets. Your support, your investments, the infusion of capital into modern business enterprises will be helpful for us as a country to address those who are stuck in poverty. We need to extricate them out from that quagmire. Poverty results in misallocation of resources, valuable resources. That is a drain on the national production processes. We must ensure in utilizing our scarce resources, land, labor, capital, human resources, we must be on the production possibility curve. If we are not, that signals to us that we are following a weak policy. We need to accelerate the inflow of foreign direct investments, ensure ease of doing business indices, in such indices that Sri Lanka becomes the place, the role model, the epicenter for global investment. We need to have a visionary approach for economic management. Export-led economic growth is a must. It has to be achieved in a time-targeted manner. We as a country, the private sector, the public sector, government, politicians, all of us must unite to ensure that Sri Lanka's export drive becomes an example to all, that is admired internationally and globally. We must put our wholehearted climacteric effort to ensure that in the IT arena, in the electronics and microchip fields, that we advance and progress. In closing, let me say this. Sri Lanka stands at a very pivotal and important juncture. After global disruptions, domestic challenges, we as a country are emerging with resilience, innovation, and ambition. With over 2 million visitors in 2024 and record numbers in 2025, record export performance, investment inflows, the momentum is picking up. We cannot be satisfied at the rate at which it is picking up. We need to drive it. We need to sustain it. Most important of all, we need to champion it. Our journey is just beginning. Together with you, the world traveler, the global investor, the export partner, we can make Sri Lanka not merely a destination, but a global symbol of what a small island nation state can achieve. Beauty, culture, commerce, opportunity, and prosperity, all in harmony. So let's combine all our strengths, talents, resources to build a prosperous present and a prosperous future. A future for all of the citizens of Sri Lanka, the present generations, and the future generations. Let's ensure that all our energies, capacities, and capabilities are mobilized to ensure that we promote a prosperous Sri Lanka, where prosperity is shared, where we promote accelerated growth, where growth is inclusive. We as members of a progressive opposition, a constructive opposition, we shall at all times promote the enhancement of achieving national objectives and national interests in a time-targeted manner. Of course, when we see deficiencies, shortcomings, malpractices, maladministration, we won't hesitate to voice our opinion. We shall certainly do so. So I call upon all of you to unite, to make a prosperous, developed Sri Lanka. Thank you very much. Ayubowan, Vanakkam, Assalamu Alaikum.